Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. How are you guys doing? Good morning, UK. JA, good night. America, good night. And the rest of the world, yes, I greet you with love. So, welcome to my channel, Abuse Insights, and welcome to Food for Thought. Okay, so today I'm going to start off with a little story. So, a lady went to the pastor and said, I want to be attending church. I won't be attending church, I should say. Sorry, something is coming up on my screen. I won't be attending church anymore. The pastor said, May I ask why? She said, I see people on their cell phones during the service. Some are gossiping, some aren't just living right. They are all just hypocrites. The pastor got silent. He went, Then he said to her, Okay, but can I ask you to do me something? One favor before you make your final decision. She said, What's that? So the pastor said, Take a glass of water and walk around the church 2 times and don't let any of the water fall out of the glass. She said, Yes, I can do just that. So she took up the challenge. She came back to the pastor and said, It's done. Then he asked her 3 questions. One, did you see anybody on the phone? Two, did you see anybody gossiping? And three, was anybody living wrong? This is interesting. Her reply, I didn't see anything because I was so focused on this glass of water so that the water wouldn't fall out. Nice one, right? So the pastor said to her, when you come to church, you should be just that focused on God. So that you don't fall. And that's why Jesus said, Follow me. It did not say, Follow Christians. That's a good one. So the moral of this short story is don't let your relationship with God be determined by how others relate with God. Let it be determined by how focused you are on God. Yes. And it is the same principle we must apply in our lives and in our relationships. Hence, never, 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 ever measure your progress using someone else's ruler. This now takes me to the topic for today, and that is tips to help breaking the bond. And what is a bond? I am referring to trauma bonding. But first, what is trauma bonding? Thanks to the names on my screen, that's where my contents is from. So, trauma bonding is the attachment an abused person feels. I want to make sure I say this so you can get it. Trauma bonding is the attachment an abused person feels for their abuser, especially in a relationship with a cyclical pattern of abuse. Now, let me spell cyclical because it might not be pronounced correctly. It's Cyclical, cyclical pattern of abuse. The abuse is created due to a cycle of abuse and positive reinforcement. Now, after each circumstance of abuse, the abuser professes love and regret and otherwise ties to try to make the relationship feel safe and needy for the abused person. Trauma bonding is one reason that makes leaving an abusive situation feel confusing and overwhelming. It involves positive and or loving feelings for an abuser, making the abused person feel attached to and dependent on their abuser. Now, what works for one person in terms of the ways in which one tries to break their relationship, to move away from the abused person, what method tried, pardon my fiddling, but what works for one person will not work for another. Pardon me. Now, people who experience abuse in childhood often feel similar. I can't believe my microphone is not here. Hold on a second. What's up? I'm thinking something's missing. Come here, baby. That's what's missing. Check the difference in my voice. You didn't hear that? No, did I? So let me repeat. People who experience abuse in childhood often feel drawn to similar relationships in adulthood since the brain already recognizes the highs and lows of the cycle. Now, a history of trauma can make it even harder to break trauma bonds, but you can learn to stop this cycle. How? Here are some tips that can help you to break trauma bonding. Now, many in abusive relationship, I'm sure wouldn't even understand there's a name for it. But if you're in a nice relationship because you feel it's nice, but let's break that down a little. So you're in a relationship where the man hit you or he speaks really aggressive towards you, emotionally abuse you, deprive you of things, try to control you, and later would come back and be very apologetic, brings you roses and chocolates and do nice things for you. And then he or she would repeat the pattern of abuse, making you feel less deserving, and then still try to make it up, doing nice things afterwards. That's what we're talking about in terms of trauma bonding. It's a situation where the good things done is supposed to override the bad that you had experienced. And then it overwhelmed your thinking because when you're going through the moment of feeling sad and trying to come to terms with why this person's treating me so badly, so unkindly, I feel hurt, you know? He doesn't want to talk to me. When I try to talk to him, he shouts at me or he slams the door, or if I ask for something, he doesn't give or he takes stuff away. I can't speak to my family. I can't go anywhere. He's allowed to go places and all these controlling things. And then your mind is working on, man, I can't do this. This is too much. I have to leave. And by the time you get to, I have to leave, here comes maybe a ticket to the movie, a ticket for a holiday. Maybe here comes a ticket to go with friends, take the kids to somewhere nice, gift voucher, something, some nice treats. And then it throw you off course. You're all thinking, oh, he loves me. So now the thought of leaving, of breaking free, was just dismissed by all that nice things that just took place. And that is how hard it is for people to stick to a decision. But when you recognize you're in a situation as this, 1 minute you're happy, the next minute you're sadder. That's not love. But as I said, here are some tips that can help you break trauma bonding. So knowing what you're dealing with by recognizing the existence of bond is an important first step. 1. Keep a journal and write down things that happened each day. When abuse does happen, note what happened and whether your partner said anything afterwards to excuse it. 2. Consider the relationship from another perspective. So pretending you're reading about your own relationship in a book, or you're reading your relationship pretending it's someone else's story. 3. Pay attention to the small details. Pay attention to the small details that makes you uncomfortable or give you pause. Always ask yourself, do they make me feel healthy? What about my feelings? Am I happy? What about the pain I'm experiencing each time? When you breathe, why do I feel this pain in my stomach when I breathe? Why this anger? It just doesn't get better, does it? Number 4, talk to a trusted loved one is a good path to take. In my video yesterday, I mentioned that it's not easy to talk to people. There are many people out there we can talk to. But you find that if you just tell anyone your story, they will then use it to abuse you. Or, like sometimes you're arguing with someone and they have a little secret over you that nobody else knows. During that conversation or during that argumentative moment, to win that argument, they will just throw that thing back at you. So now they have exposed you to everybody who did not know. So that's why it's important to find someone who you can trust to talk to. I know it may not be easy to open up about abuse, but loved ones can offer essential perspectives. Challenge yourself to listen and to make a real effort to consider the accuracy of your loved one observation. The next one is key. Number 5. Avoid self-blame. Refuse to believe you caused the abuse or brought it on yourself. If you do this, it will make it harder for you to exercise your autonomy, effectively keeping you in the relationship. Remind yourself that abuse is never, no matter what, it's never your fault. No matter what you may or may have done, how deeply you fear loneliness or a life without that person, how many times you've already gone back, know that you deserve better. Yes, you deserve better. Number 6 is to try and cut contact completely. Once you've made the decision, if a decision is made, also make your mind up to cut contacts when you decide to leave. Disrupt the cycle completely by stopping all communication. If children are involved, it will be a bit harder. But if you co-parent, it might means other people has to get involved. A therapist, for example, can help you establish a plan to maintain only necessary contact. Create physical distance by finding a safe place to stay, such as with a relative or a friend. Don't be fooled because the abuser might insist he or she will change or tell you, I'll go for therapy. Even go as far as to tell you, I'll do anything if you just come back. A lot of victims fell for that. A lot of victims returned and are not with us today because those promises can seem pretty tempting, but don't be bamboozled. What's the word? Bam bamboozled. Or don't be fooled. You see, I need the word now and I use it all the time and I can't remember how to say it properly. But do not be fooled. Don't fall for it. It's just what they do or say all the time. It's not the first time I'm sure you'd hear such words, such promises. Remind yourself of the number of times you heard the same things, the same old promises. It's a repeat. While you can take action to begin weakening the trauma bonding on your own, some bond tend to hold than others. Excuse me. So you might find it very hard to break free without professional help. But support is available. So seek one if you must to get clarity and insights into your situation. Ladies and gentlemen, ta-da! That is my share with you today. Trauma bonding is real. It's just that a lot of people don't understand it. If you know someone who is in a relationship for years with an individual and all they get most is abuse, that's trauma bonding. Yes. So, share this video with someone, as I just did, and that's you doing something to impact someone else's life. And as I said, you don't know whose life you can change just by allowing them to hear the videos that I make. They might not do anything for you, but someone else, it can do a lot. Now, on to the like requests. Why? Oh, why? I just don't know. People, Uno can do better. You can do better. Hit the thumbs up button, please. I'm giving a double thumb up. Please like the video, share the video with others so that YouTube can present it to other viewers. And that it's for today. It's time to continue with this school run schedule. So it's goodbye for now. Do go out there and have a wonderful and a positive day. Don't let anybody steal your joy. You hear? Yeah, man. Because if they do, come tell me and then we will deal with it together. Yeah. Solution, no war. God bless you guys. Thank you for listening. And I'll see you tomorrow. I have some goodies coming up for you. Don't you worry. They're on my software as we speak. All right. God bless. Bye.